Okay, cool. Do you remember what rank this was, or what rank are you now?
I'm Silver too.
Okay.
Right
And then what agents do you normally play?
now. Mostly play Yoru and Sova.
Okay. And what sensitivity are you on?
Uh, I think 1600 and point 22.
Okay. Do you remember what mouse or mouse pad you use?
I use the Glorious Model D.
Okay. And then mouse pad, if you know.
I don't know what it's called, but it's just like a regular extended one.
Okay. Cool, cool. Is there anything specific that you're struggling with or you want to work on?
I think like mostly game sense, cause like I find myself like dying a lot in games,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess like raw aim as well, because a lot of times like I can panic in like a situation where it's like a gunfight or like I don't know what to do basically.
Okay. Okay, sounds cool. Sounds cool. We'll definitely check this out. Um, what's up, chat? What's up, chat? Uh, Let me reply to this game. Okay, so our buy is obviously a little bit suboptimal because we're missing util. Like you bought Ghost with no util.
Mhm.
Obviously you could buy double shock and just go down to zero, but the more common buy is classic and drone. The reason why you want to go classic drone is so after you throw the start, you would immediately hop down. It's just if you look at the mini map here, you'd go around this area. Before the nerf, you would drone from here just to be a little bit safer, but after the nerf, it's a little bit better to go like here and drone. And then if you drone from here, you clear close left, close right, or close right, close left, and then most of the people take the drone over 410 here to clear back right. Um,
Right.
but yeah, very, very, very important. You at least buy full, you like buy down to zero on pistol round, or at least like as much as you can. Some agents can't go down to zero, but double shock is pretty good on pistol round. Obviously, a little bit of chip damage goes a long way, right? Body shots. But the more common buy is armor, drone, and then the insta dart that you do is a good idea. I will say I would like for you to throw like an extra tick, right? You go one tick short. So what might end up happening here is with this tick, like it travels a little bit slower, right? A little bit
Yeah.
less oomph. So they have a little bit easier time running up and shooting it. Whereas if you do a full charge dart, it like lands a bit quicker. It's harder for the guy running up
Yeah.
here to break dart. So just a little bit of timing thing, but really make sure you're buying full util. Like I said, no drone again. I don't know if you had money for it, but definitely important that you need to get drone.
Yeah, I think at this one I
Get
forced
on
to like
10.
get the Vandal because I thought,
Yeah, yeah, you'd go light armor and drone just because normally you aren't gonna be the guy getting contact on a gunfight until like round or sorry, like third or fourth contact. Because if you are droning, then your drone is like kind of the like you, right? So like your drone would get first contact, your teammates would take fights with it, and then you would be third or fourth guy in. So that light
yeah.
armor disadvantage doesn't really play a big part.
Off ice or
This is a little bit interesting to me. Just a peek insta dart.
can you smoke?
Normally, you would do the lineup here. I don't know if you can tell that much because the quality is a little bit lower on my end. But if
Can
I
you smoke?
pause here, you yeah, you can even see it.
Uh,
It's kind of like this little like traffic thing, whatever this yellow black line is. Like it's up here as well, and then you would one bounce full charge, and it would land on the bottom of this thing to scan the other side, and that's the safe way to do it. Otherwise, you would start garage where your omen is, and then just drone. Or at least jump peek. You would very rarely just go for the dry peek with the dart here, because if they're playing chamber or even jet on this yellow angle here, or like even here or top white, you just kind of get punished.
Yeah, even then I thought it was like pretty risky.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, your jet updrafted,
ice
maybe he
or
pulls attention,
snow
so it's
right
not the
there, and
worst
then
thing in the
click
world.
down there.
So you get the dart scan here on this guy yellow. It's good. After you get that scan, you have two options. Immediately drone, just so your teammates can start scaling with this wall and push this guy yellow so this guy yellow isn't able to fall back, right? The goal when you get the scan on this guy is to be able to kill him, right? Especially since they don't have the chamber. If the chamber is there, you scan him, he probably TPs away after enough pressure. But if it's a Viper here, which it is, you get the scan here, you drone so that your teammates can push up, get this kill. Because he's like kind of stranded, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's up to you to like make the
On
util
it? Oh,
to push this guy. Yeah, you see this guy, he's like literally already running away.
He's on
And
one.
he actually just makes it out, which is unfortunate. This would be another good time to just go here and drone into sight. Something you'll see a lot in lower elo, right? Your silver 1, silver 2. A lot of things you'll see, like anything below, honestly, plat, or even in plat, but less so, is that people are really scared to push up. I'm actually pretty surprised that your jet dash is yellow here in the first place. But in order to kind of like make them more comfortable, it's just really push this drone usage out. I know I've said drone like probably like 20 times in like the last 5 minutes, but that's like your whole identity as an agent is dart and then drone. Then after you do those two things, you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want to, but really make sure you're getting that dart and drone out to continue pushing your teammates forward. And if they don't go forward with your util, then you're gonna have to tell them to, because these guys don't really know how to play the game, right? We're in the lower elo, people are still learning. But if they still don't go with your dart and drone, then it's kind of up to you to take space with your dart and drone somehow, which is really suboptimal because obviously you can't move forward with while the drone is moving, right? That's just not possible. But at the very least, someone needs to take space with your drone. So comment more if they're not doing it, or at least just use it in the first place so they can't do it. But that's really the main point about Sova. Like I said, after you use dart and drone, you can kind of just do whatever the fuck you want to. So as you guys can see, a large majority of you guys are not subscribed. Please subscribe for more content like this. In this case, it would be a good time to join as well. It's a similar situation to the last time we were here, when you could just go here and drone, right? People aren't really pushing up. This guy's AFK. Your teammates are also AFK yellow. This guy's top.
It's an orb down.
I thought he was top white, but he's not. But yeah, people are kind of sitting around. They're all scared. So getting that info for your homies just by droning is huge here. Waiting out this wall is fine too, but this guy pushes through. Your dart comes up in 3, and now he dies. It's a bad play by Omen, right? Because if he resmokes Snowman, like in the gap here, you don't die to this guy, and then he wouldn't die pushing his own smoke. So it's a bad play by Omen overall, but some of this could have been alleviated. Like this play wouldn't have happened at all if you just droned earlier. So as you can see, the main problem here is just using more drone, and hopefully some of these situations that I'm highlighting makes it a little bit more obvious when to use it. But other than that, you could kind of think about maybe using ult when you get to around this point, like no one's pushing up. You can kind of just blind ult into a site, like towards back site here, or like towards left side snowman here, right? If you get a tag here, it's pretty good. So that's one way to consider using ult too. The more what am I trying to say here? The more obvious way of using it is use drone and then get a tag and then use your ult. But it's okay to use blind ult on an execute for common angles as well, if you want to do it that way. If we're having a hard time using our drone and you want to play a similar agent, I think Fade is really good on this map still, and like the dogs are a little bit more intuitive to use because you can take a gunfight yourself after. So
yeah,
something to consider if you want to try another agent that's pretty similar. Really good scan. We go for the ult. That's interesting. So I don't hate the ult, but if you wanted to go for the ult here, like you insta-dart ult, this is a call that you would make when you want to rush A, right? You'd be like, oh yeah, that's 5-man hit A. You just dart backside. Like you're not darting close, right? You're darting deep. So you would kind of hope that your teammates close don't die to someone pushing. You get the scans on these deep guys, and then you just ult so they have to reposition here as your teammates are scaling up, and that's like a great way to do a fast A. So the play in itself I don't think is bad. It's just like your teammates aren't ready for it because either one, you don't call it or they don't listen. But this strat in itself isn't bad. You just have to like communicate to your teams to get it done. But I guess I like that you actually do use your ult eventually. I mean, it is round A at this point, but it's good that you do use it instead of holding on to it the entire half. Like you're with your team for the most part, which is good, right? You're playing your initiator role and just sticking with the squad, so that's a good thing. Obviously, I noted before. I just burped. Sorry. I noticed the thing before is that or I said before. English is hard tonight. You're not using your drone, right? We didn't use drone a single time on offense out of 12 rounds. That's a big no-no. But like I said, just use dart for the early clear if you need to. You have to use one or the other to clear close angles, and that's going to depend on what site you're hitting, right? A, darting early is a little bit more common. B, droning early and then darting yellow later is a little bit more common, right? So maybe there's like not a good formula for that, but you have to use either, or like you have to use one in order to clear the close angles, and then use the other one to clear the deep angles. And that's like this normal thing, I guess. So really try to go into the round thinking about that on a T side. It's like, how do I use, what piece of utility should I use and where should I use it in order to not get instantly opt? And that's normally the reason why you do it, is just to avoid the opt. But of course it will do good against rifles as well. But the main reason why you do it is just so you don't insta-die to opt, because your teammates are going to lose those duels. But any questions about T side?
Not really.
Cool.